One thing you need to be careful of is rocks in the road in Macedonia, because it seems like from the mountains you get the odd rock when you come round the corner. So we've just left Albania and we're now going down no man's land, I assume, towards the border with Macedonia.
And the sky is turning really dark.
They did say there was snow forecast, so we'll see. Okay, so we've crossed the border and you have to get your green card insurance again. What they do is they call a local agent who brings the paperwork to the border. It's 50 euros, but you can pay in a little bit of Albania money, a little bit of euros. But what they did was they put my name on the vehicle insurance, which isn't a problem, I can drive, but because Marianne does most of the driving, as you know, because I do the filming, we're just following the agent back to the office and he'll just amend the paperwork so it includes Marianne. Otherwise she won't be able to drive, love.
I want
and
to
then
drive. She'll
be sad.
It's my van.
So we are officially in country number 27. They're
Woo!
clocking up, woohoo! The roads are a little bit better.
Yeah, the roads are better, although the sky is not.
The sky looks like it might snow.
When you arrive at the border, they will actually call the guys from Halk Insurance to help you. And then if they're unable to do it at the border, you can come to the offices and meet these lovely people over here. And for 50 euros, for 15 days, you've got plenty of time to get around before you go on to Greece. Amendment to what I just said about the insurance cost is actually 40 euros. And the gentleman very kindly chased us down the road, waving 10 euros. We paid him, we overpaid. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just found an ATM, got a little bit of local currency, and we are now going to try and find a SIM card.
Actually, somebody asked us, how do we know how much money to take out? And what currency do we use?
Local currency.
Yeah, so what we tend
and
to
we
do...
just take out about £40.
And then as we do a border crossing, I always say, can you take some money in the last currency to clear it up?
Yeah. Or you fill up with fuel just to get rid of the last bit of currency. So the SIM card sorted, we got 15 gigabytes of data for 1,500 dinar. Traditional mode of transport, horse and cart behind us. There's Trudy, we're on with shopping, and that's it, south we go. So we're not going to drive too far. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been quite a long day, so we're going to go down for about half an hour and find somewhere to park up and relax for the evening. So we've pulled off the road and found this little spot tucked away. I think it should be okay for the night. There's a couple of houses behind us. I think it should be good. So a lot of people have asked how much our food costs, so we thought we'd share it with you today. So just to give you an idea, we bought 4 emergency dried rations there of pasta packets, bag of muesli, oh, we can hear the wind, bag of pasta, little bag of rice, 2 bananas, 4 chocolate bars because we've eaten 2 already, bag of olives, some sweet corn, pasta sauce, milk, 3 cans of beer, and it came to £15.70. First morning in Macedonia. The rain and the hail in the night was very loud. and woke us up on numerous occasions. We've woken up. It's a little bit noisy. They did forecast snow tonight. We might get washed away.
I don't think we're going to get washed away.
So we're going to have a lazy day today. And the weather's not very nice anyway. In fact, they forecast snow today. And fingers crossed, it's just started sleety snowing. So
if you look down, you can actually see it bouncing on the floor. It does look like
hail
rather than snow.
Welcome to the mountains of Macedonia.
We're actually parked up down a lane, and there are a couple of abandoned houses back there. But we haven't really seen anything else here. Oh, it's bouncing.
I think we'll have a quiet day in the van because we're tired, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're tired today.
It's been a long old drive. It's been a long old drive. And in fact, we should do a diary cam. I think we should do a diary cam from the bed. So, okay. Diary cam from the bed. Diary cam from the bedroom. Trudy's bedroom. Yeah, I thought I'd talk about the coronavirus actually, because we've had quite a few people contact us to say that the coronavirus is closing borders, creating all sorts of chaos. In fact, a very close family member contacted us yesterday to say that the first case in Macedonia has been diagnosed and positive. They actually came through the same border as us yesterday. We didn't see any Italian vans coughing. But we are aware, and for anyone that is concerned about our plan B, as you may have read in some of the comments, we don't really have a plan A. We're just sort of fumbling along a little bit. We know where we've got to go to, and until that plan that isn't really fixed goes wrong, we can't really explain a plan B. We are concerned. We're sort of like brushing it off, but we are in the back of our minds concerned because obviously people are dying. So we are taking it incredibly seriously. We're washing our hands regularly. We're drinking, we're keeping hydrated. And we meet lots of people on the road, and we're not going to hide away, but we are very careful. Yeah, that's our thoughts on the coronavirus. And the weather. We've had sunny weather all the way, and it was forecast to have 15 centimetres of snow here in Macedonia over the next couple of days. We can't
watch this space.
Yeah, we can't really fight the weather. We've been incredibly lucky, and I can't see any blue, but it seems to have stopped hailing, and it doesn't look like it's settling, but it has turned a bit colder. But we'll see how we go, and we will obviously share it every time. Everything that we do, we share. We put it in on Instagram as well. We share little bits on Insta too, and the weekly newsletter. So I'll sign out for now, but those are our thoughts. If you've got any specific questions, do message them to us, and maybe I could tackle them in the diary cam. For anyone that was worried that we were having far too much fun in the sun, this is happening right now. Yep, it started to snow, it's raining, it's windy, it's blustering, the van is moving, but it's not settling. On the bright side, it's not settling.
Yeah, we're having a quiet day in the van, just gonna catch up, rest, recuperate a little bit before carrying on south, and it might be a long recuperation if we get snowed in. Because we are actually off-road in the middle of a field.
By a river.
By a river.
In the mountains.
in the mountains. And yes, indeed, it is snowing.
Actually, I've just noticed that it is settling on the side of the van window. That is snow that has stuck to our window.
What's actually great is the SIM card that we had in our router in Albania actually still works here in Macedonia. So although we bought the SIM card yesterday, we're still using up the data from Albania, which is great. Especially if we might get snowed in, it gives us a bit more stuff to watch.
I was going to say, we're working at the moment.
We are working.
I may be in my pyjamas in bed with a Snickers bar and a coffee, but I'm answering comments, and thank you to all of those people that are just encouraging, supportive and lovely.
And there's a lot of you.
And there is a lot. There's like...
We're feeling the love.
Huge amount of people. So like, subscribe and share.
Twice.
Twice. And watch the adverts.
Starting to settle. Uh-oh. So this is our little parking spot here in North Macedonia, and Trudy is covered in snow. They did forecast a bit of snow, and it's definitely coming down now. Hopefully we don't get too stuck. At the moment it's okay, but we've spent the day chilling out here. And we are up in the mountains, but you can't see them because they're all covered in mist and snow. The visibility's bad. But how beautiful is this? The next morning, the snow had turned to rain, and we were able to continue our journey south.
Ohrid.
We're going to Ohrid. Ohrid Henry.
Apparently, Ohrid is beautiful.
Ohrid ain't Ohrid at all, is it?
Apparently not.
There you go. We meandered through the winding mountain roads towards the town of Ohrid, admiring the lakes and views the best we could through the rain and mist. We found a car park from Park for Night just right next to the fort in Ohrid, but you have to pay. You have to pay by text, and it says there's water, but the tap's been disconnected.
Not just the tap top, but they've actually unscrewed the thing. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's gone.
Maybe they're trying to stop vans coming.
Or I think
so we
it's
found,
winter.
yeah, it's winter. We found another place on the other side of town, so we're going to head off and see if we can stay there instead. But location-wise, this is great. But it is definitely a wet, horrible day, and hopefully it dries up tomorrow so we can have a walk around and show you guys. But the old wall here, it's really nice. So if you do drive on a 2-lane road, just be aware that the left lane always has people parked up in it. They just stop, so it's best just to stay in the left lane. So we found another car park, and it appears to be free, and we're right by the lake. So this will do for tonight and maybe tomorrow, and we're right by the lake.
And you can see the fort!
You can see the fort. So fingers crossed the weather brightens up. So we're just gonna chill out here. Good morning. Well, I'm pleased to say that the rain that we had yesterday and the snow the day before has cleared. And amazingly, we've got blue sky today. So we're going to go and explore this town. We had a great night's sleep here last night in this car park. But it's cold. It's really cold. And I don't know whether you can see, but there's ice. All the puddles have ice on them. The water that you can see behind us is actually a lake, and the town over there is Ohrid, and it's one of the most visited places here in North Macedonia, and with views like that you can see why. We're going to have a walk around, leave the van here, have a walk around into town, and see what it's like. But it's great here. The parking spot that we had was free of charge, and it's pretty well secured because behind me, that building there, is actually the local police station. You can probably see a few police cars outside. Just to give you an idea of how cold it is, apart from the fact my glasses have just steamed up now I've come in, there is actually ice on the inside of the windscreen here. So these thermal blinds have definitely done their job. So I think we're staying here today, so I think we're going to leave them up. So we've left Trudy, and we're heading, it's about half an hour's walk to the other side of town, to the church that you can see by the lake, which looks quite interesting. And in case you're wondering why we got big backpacks on, because we always take all of our bits and tech with us, because we don't like to leave it in the van. Although where we parked last night, that's the police station. You can see the police cars there, and I think that is a military base of some form. So let's go to town. So walking around the lake here, you can see the crystal clear water, and we've just been chatting to a couple of fishermen. They're fishing for carp. Apparently there's some really big carp in this lake, and in the summer this would be a beautiful spot to go fishing.
When we're trying to find the route, Chris and I always have this thing, because I absolutely love water. I spent a bit of my childhood on the Isle of Wight, and I think I've got salt in my blood, because I absolutely love the water. And Chris loves mountains and trees. He's got this thing. In fact, Annabelle and I were laughing. It's like murderers and rapists live in the trees. Why are we parked up in the woods? But I think I won on this one because it's glorious. I don't know whether you like mountains, trees, or the sea. But this is our spot for last night. I was laughing at Chris because I made him buy a little tripod adapter for the GoPro stand, so you could get those lovely shots of us walking hand in hand down these beautiful places, rather than him taking photos or video from just my back end. And we forgot it at the van, so we were laughing, weren't we?
We were. Eventually we'll get it down.
Yeah.
Every time we go out we forget something, whether it's a battery or a stand. But it's a long way back to the van now because we're in the town. So we're just walking up towards the old town, and all the way along the coastal line here are these amazing restaurants with great views all over the lake. And on a day like today, wow. How lucky are we with this weather? There's not even literally a cloud in the sky. And like I said, the forecast today was looking a bit iffy.
Bit dodge, in fact.
Bit dodge.
In fact, Chris has started using the word dodge.
Dodge. Walking through the old town, looking up here, you can actually see how they made the plaster work, the building here with the sticks, and then they put the plaster covering on top. It's absolutely lovely walking around Old Town with these cobbled streets and little narrow alleys. We had a discussion this morning about whether to bring Trudy further into town or to walk in. And looking at these roads, I think it was a very good decision to stay where we were, and to walk in.
Oh, we found one of the churches.
But how amazing is this view? And check out this. Must put shows on here because they got all the seating here. It's a really nice town. Everyone said, you know, if you're driving through North Macedonia, you should definitely visit Ohrid. And looking online, it's the most visited city in North Macedonia. And walking around, you can really see why.
Ohrid is not Ohrid.
Ohrid is not Ohrid. That's a fact. It's a little bit of a maze without a map, trying to work out how to get to the church. So we're just checking out whether you can go down by the lake. But I just love all the old cars that you see around the Balkans. Huh?
There's a walkway.
Oh, apparently there's a walkway. Let's go see where it goes. You might describe it as a little bit dodgy. Oh wow, look at this walkway. We're not sure where this walkway goes, but it is heading in the right direction. And it's very, very interesting. Must be lit up at night because they got all these lights as you walk down. Luckily it's well built to cope with my weight. With all my computers in the bag on my back. Hey?
I'm testing it.
Marianne's testing it. She's the guinea pig, she's going first. Although I'm definitely heavier than Marianne. Yeah, and the path carries on round the corner. This would be a cool place to hang out in the summer. Steps going in so you could go swimming, and amazing cliffs behind us. We've walked round the corner and you can see the church, the monastery that we were trying to head to.
St. John the Baptist.
St. John the Baptist, which funnily enough is the same name of the church in the village where we lived back home. And there's this lovely little restaurant right by the lake shore here. All these narrow little streets, and we're nearly there. There's a sign behind us that says we are heading in the right direction, and if you're looking for a building project, this house behind us is for sale. But these little streets with the cliffs in this sunshine. Loving Ohrid. It ain't so Ohrid. This is either a very small church or a very small house. definitely getting our exercise today.
Beautiful.
Well, we've made it up to the church, and you got some nice views up here. Right in the distance over on the other side is where we slept last night in Trudy. So we've walked all the way around the bay, and look, what an amazing church sticking out over the lake. It was apparently built in the 13th century. You can see the mountains behind us with the fresh covering of snow that it had the other day. Yes, I'm out of breath. We're climbing up to the fort, and we actually got lost a little bit going through the road, so we ended up going down and up and down and up and down and up. But you can see that we're getting higher, and we're nearly there. So if you want some aerial views of the city, climb the hill, come up to the Tsar Samuel's fortress, and on a day like today you're blessed with some beautiful views. And now we've got a long walk back.
But it's all downhill. Woo!
It is definitely easier going downhill. We've just come across the car park that we pulled up in the rain where we were unable to park yesterday. And they've got these amazing gates through the wall to the walled city. How cool is that little car? See these gates? Amazing. Made of metal.
Yeah.
So we've just wandered back off the main seafront, and Saturday it's a little bit busier, and this is one of the main streets for shopping. Get pretty well everything here, although we are going to go and see if we can find a little supermarket to buy some bits for lunch. So when you come in the supermarket, they've actually got numbers next to each item, and then you type the number into the weighing thing and press enter, and it gives you a label.
Yes, please, Bella.
So this is the bakery that we just went into, and there was a real nice selection of pastries that we've bought for lunch, and it was so cheap, it was like 200. So we've come back to the van, and I want to share with you all of this, that, a slice of some spinachy pie thing, a loaf of bread, some kind of pizza slice, and another thing there, was all £2.76. 66. How cheap is that? That's definitely more than a lunch worth, but never go shopping when you're hungry.
Yeah, and we've been walking for 4.5 hours.
We've earned it.
We're going to demolish this. Maybe not this, although that's still warm.
I know, it's lovely. Anyway, time to eat. So where we're parked up, this nice walkway, we spotted that there is actually a couple of taps on the promenade, and because it's winter they've removed some of the taps so they're not in use, but we found one that is, so we're going to take the opportunity and fill up Trudy with some water because she is empty. So you normally get funny looks when you're on a promenade filling up water, but it's all good. Water is necessary. Fab job there, love.
Thanks, love.
Right opposite a restaurant.
Right opposite a restaurant.
Van life. So we're heading, I've got a mouthful of chocolate. It's very cheap to buy Snickers here.
What are you laughing at?
I just tried to light the gas with that. Rather than that.
I was just laughing at Chris because I made him buy a little tripod for the GoPro so we could catch all those lovely cinematographic yeah, okay. Cut.
I've been on the road too long. I'm eating Snickers.